On the IELTS exam, relying on basic descriptive words is often the difference between a mid-range score and the high band required for admission. To reach higher levels, you must accurately compare subjects without making elementary spelling or placement errors. In the next 5 minutes, we will look at exactly where to position adjectives and walk through 4 spelling rules for forming comparatives and superlatives. Passive watching will not change your score. Grab a pen and paper or open a blank document now so you can build these sentences as we go. Step 1 is understanding the 3 strictly regulated positions adjectives take around a noun they describe. As shown here, the first position is attributive placement, going immediately before the noun, like juicy pear. The second is predicative, following the noun and a linking verb, like Tina is angry. Finally, post-positive placement goes immediately after a pronoun, like something scary. Indefinite pronouns like something, someone, or anyone are a frequent source of errors in student writing. You must use post-positive placement for these pronouns. Writing a scary something is grammatically incorrect and will result in a lower score for grammatical range and accuracy. Applying these 3 placement rules correctly prevents the structural errors that often lead to automatic point deductions. Step 2 is selecting the correct degree of comparison. This is determined by the number of things you are describing. If you are describing a single subject with no comparison, the adjective stays in the positive degree, like beautiful. When you compare exactly 2 subjects, you must use the comparative degree, such as more beautiful. When comparing 3 or more subjects, the adjective must be in the superlative degree, most beautiful. This equation is vital. Whenever you use a superlative, you must include the article the directly before the adjective. Omitting the before a superlative is a common mistake. Checking for this article serves as a final safety net for your score. Step 3 involves changing the spelling of the base word using 4 specific mechanical rules. Rule 1 is the standard approach. Simply add the suffix for comparative or est for superlative. Bright becomes brighter or brightest. Rule 2 applies to words ending in e, like brave. Do not double the e, simply add r or st. Rule 3 is the y trap, which frequently causes penalties. If a word ends in a consonant and y, delete the y, replace it with an I, and add the suffix. Avoid writing words like happier or costliest with a y. These are immediate indicators of poor spelling control to an examiner. Rule 4 applies to words ending in a consonant-vowel-consonant pattern. For these words, the final consonant must be doubled before adding the suffix. For example, big becomes bigger. Be careful with short, common words like hot, fat, and thin, as these will almost always require you to double the final consonant. Memorizing these 4 specific spelling overrides addresses the mechanical errors that often trigger penalties on comparative sentences. Review the notes you have taken. You now have the rules required to combine these elements into a single complex sentence. Here is an example of a high-scoring target sentence. The heaviest box available belongs to Tina. This sentence demonstrates 3 specific skills. It uses the mandatory article the, it executes Rule 3 by changing the y in heavy to an I, and it uses post-positive placement by putting available directly after the noun box. In your next practice session, apply these 4 spelling rules to adjectives like lazy, sad, and rich. Grammatical precision is a specific metric that IELTS examiners use to calculate your final band score. Focusing on these details is how you ensure your writing meets their requirements.